Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope all of you are well, fine, and safe inside your homes. So today we are going to continue with chapter 3 in history, that is in the earliest cities, what and how life used to be, what were the houses and all of it. So again we will have a quick introduction, the story of Harappan, that is the Harappan civilization had existed in India around 4700 years ago, and the term that is Harappan civilization, it had gained this name because it extended to around many rivers, basins and tributaries. So this is the reason why it had got this name. Now here we have already talked about houses and all in the previous video. In this video we will cover about the drains and streets, how they were actually there during those times in the cities. So cities had covered drains. So drains they were connected to the streets, that is drains, they were completely covered. Inspection holes were provided in the intervals to clean them. So there were inspection holes which were there. If there is found anything leakage or any problem related to water is found out, then there were inspection holes which were provided at the intervals to clean them, and streets were straight and broad. So this is what you need to remember, that how the streets and drains of that city was during that time, that is the streets were straight and broad. Now life in the cities. So scribes helped to write the documents. So scribes are the people who used to who knew to write on the seals. So special engineers planned the construction of special buildings. So there were many engineers called to plan the construction of the city. So besides, there were men and women and the craft person also. Now here we have is importance of seals. So these are the seals where on which you can also write and communicate. That is, seals were used to stamp bags or packages containing goods. So this is how they were used. The sealing was intact and one could be sure that these goods had arrived safely. So this was the importance of seal during those times. Now we will talk about Harappan crafts. Now there were many crafts during those times also which was made by the different people, that is the craftsmen, and they used to sell and earn well out of it. Like metal work, some things that were made out of metal, that is metal work was also actually existing over there. Then agriculture, pottery, you must be knowing well. Cutting stones, that is also picture in you can see that stones are cut and different shapes were given. Carving seals and polishing beads and all those things these are the different Harappan crafts that were actually existing years back. And then came the end of Harappan civilization. So why did the Harappan civilization why did it come to an end? So the rulers might have lost control over that time. Why? Because the rivers had dried up. As I mentioned earlier, the Harappan civilization, the name Harappan they have gained is because it was extending into many river basins and tributaries. So rivers had completely dried up. Some areas destroyed because of the floods. Now many areas of that city were completely destroyed. Why? Because of the flood. You all must be knowing what are floods. The huge amount of rainfall for which even there's disturbance around in the area is what we call flood. Famine might have occurred. So these are the instances, that is these are the occurrences that had happened during the past, and because of which the city had come to an end, that is Harappan civilization had come to an end. So because of this natural things, the Harappan civilization had come to an end. So now we will have a quick recap. That is, we started with Harappan civilization, which had existed in India many years back. Then we talked about drains and streets, that is, they were interconnected. There were also holes given for the inspection. Then what was the life in the cities, how people lived, what are the different crafts made, what are the importance of seals, Harappan crafts that were made out of the terracotta thing, and the end of Harappan civilization, how it came to an end. So this is what in all we have covered in this video and in the chapter. So that was it for today. Thank you and have a nice day.